Wait for it.
Welcome to Grawlix Nights.
Whoa.
With a jolt.
Yeah, with a go.
It's the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
And we actually had an intro of sorts. You heard it. It's over now.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Now we're past that. We can get to the usual stuff. So what are we talking about tonight? We watched a couple of things that are interesting that we'll probably mention. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know we did. And also we have I've got a whole bunch of, we don't have to even hit all these news stories.
Right.
I know you're probably looking at the list. I got a whole bunch of news stories. I got a cell phone making noise. Very unprofessional. The new, I should almost preface this with like the news. Listen, I don't think we have a lot of listeners, active listeners of the more far right gun loving extreme.
Why? Whatever are you getting at?
But if we do, it's not intentional. But you're probably not going to be happy with us after these news stories. But hey, we're just doing the news. We're just reacting in our honest, natural way.
Yep.
The news is, listen, we're doing entertainment news, TV and movie news, but wow, there's a lot of stuff that's going to get into very hot territory. And it feels like it shouldn't, because this is all kind of seems like more of a morality thing than a political thing, but it's going to get taken political. So just a heads up. Yep. This is going to be an interesting episode. We're going there.
I mean, you'd know if we were lying, so we can't lie.
We're not good liars. You would know.
No.
Yeah, now I'm a really bad liar.
Paul,
we'd be laughing as we lied. We'd be like, yeah, that's true.
Paul and Savannah, thanks for joining. Did you guys was there no previously on Grawlix? Is it dead?
It's because there was no previously.
That's right. You're right. There was no previously.
They'd be like reacting to the fact that we were gone.
Right.
They'd be like, so last week for a half hour, I sat there talking.
Oh, Savannah, we know you love politics, but
hey, you guys in the chat can do all the politics you want.
Yeah, because
that may or may not rile us up.
No, that's it. Not this week. Oh, okay. That makes sense. No Grawlix, no previously on Grawlix. Yeah, we did not do a live stream last week because of, straight up, everything that's going on. Protests, Black Lives Matter movement. Like, it's kind of, I guess, we didn't feel like talking about, we don't even talk about comics anymore, so I can't be like Supermans. We didn't feel like talking about, CGI lip Supermans. There we go.
Yeah.
Well,
plus there was the whole podcast blackout thing,
right?
That the whole idea was to stop talking and listen for a while, and I did. Holy moly! By the end of the week, I was regretting my decision. Because it was like, I'm just ingesting all this stuff. I'm ingesting. And it wasn't the Black Lives Matter stuff that was bad. It was everything else. Because I noticed that once you black out a lot of the voices that were for a thing, suddenly the Facebook algorithm was like, oh, here's all those voices. Since you're not getting all these voices, here's all those voices.
Oh, interesting. Like, so it kind of disrupts the echo chamber.
Yeah,
because the echo chamber, man, is very real. Like, I definitely hit it at a certain point where I'm like, I'm just preaching to the choir. So
yeah.
And when I'm not,
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think it's because there's a couple people from work that I'm always. It doesn't matter what they do. Like Denny. Denny's the sweetest old man, and I know he is, and he's gone crazy apparently in his old age, but I know he's inside his heart, he's a good person. I can't get mad at him no matter what.
But
he's too sweet.
Okay.
But I argue with him about politics all the time. Same with that.
But he's a raging racist.
The church lady, remember?
With a heart of gold.
and the church lady is one of them.
I'm kidding. See, we shouldn't laugh about it, but like, I mean,
No.
that's why we definitely weren't going to do a show. I don't think any of us were in a laughing mood last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't in the mood to do a show. I
It's-
couldn't have done a good one.
It's still I didn't do like, I think I did a game stream Monday. And after that, I was like, or maybe, no, that was even that Sunday. And then I was like, I'm not doing game streams. We're not doing none of that.
But sorry. One of the weird, but there's weird things where there's people that aren't totally. It's so hard too. I'm sorry, I'm doing politics. That are all about like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, this and that. But then they turn around, they're like, there's no excuse for looting and rioting.
No, we can't go down that road.
Okay.
No, I totally
Yeah.
understand. But if we go down the road of complaining about all the people, and there have been numerous that we've been arguing on Facebook with this last week.
No, yeah,
that's
I know.
not that's not where we want to take this.
I know. I'm just saying that's my problem. Why I never am going to be in an echo chamber because of those people.
Jasper deleted his Facebook profile picture. I would say his profile, but dude, he's on all the time still. He's still posted. He thinks he's not on. He's like, oh, I'm no, we're deleting platform. We're deleting the Facebook platform. I'm off of it. You delete your profile picture. You ain't fooling nobody. And I'm saying that, but he didn't, because he's keeping Messenger, which is good because that's my preferred communication method.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
But I got to trash talk a little bit.
Okay. So where are you in now?
Well, first, let's get away from that.
Yeah.
Let's step away from that. That was not where I was hoping to go,
I'm
but
sorry.
no, it was real.
Yeah.
So
It's authentic. We're not going to lie to you.
and also another thing, like, I know we're not going to tell anybody that's watching anything new or anything they don't know, and we're definitely not the people to school anybody on anything.
We've pretty much been wearing our slant on our sleeves. So
Right. We should talk a little bit about, God, my camera looks very weird today. You all right?
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
What have we been watching? I know there's some stuff.
Mm.
Have you been watching anything interesting? We watched a movie.
Did we?
We watched Lovebirds.
We watched Lovebirds.
I'm glad I mentioned this, because this will follow up my Stuber review. Stuber, which I talked about the last live stream we did.
Was not great.
No, Savannah, you're totally here. I'm sorry I haven't been addressing your comments, Savannah. Noted.
Oh yeah, I hit back a few times this past week, and that's unusual for me.
Yeah. So Stuber, I talked about it had Dave. Is it Dave Bautista?
Mhm.
And Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah.
He's all right. I like Kumail Nanjiani.
I know you do.
And it was not a very good movie, I didn't think. So then randomly, when Melanie was over, I seen Netflix has Lovebirds, which is Kumail Nanjiani, and I should find her name. I was not familiar with the actress. Lovebirds.
Yeah, I don't think I knew her either, but she was great. But maybe I do. No, maybe I don't.
Issa Rae. I think she's a comedian as well. But it's it's like a romantic comedy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a similar vibe in a way as Stuber, where it's like, where you take these two people in the movies, like it's kind of not quite an adventure, but like,
it's an adventure.
An adventure with these two people wrapped up in like crime, kind of, so it's just basically your basic like buddy cop type vehicle for these two people.
Yeah, except they're not cops.
No, they're a couple with normal relationship issues, I guess. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't think the plot is great. I think it's kind of forgettable, and it definitely does the thing where it's like, just explaining yourself. You would avoid this like you could end the movie now if you just like instead of but then
but like Cobra Kai wouldn't be a good show if they just talked.
Right, exactly.
They just talked it out, yeah.
But that said, like, the script wasn't bad because the dialogue was fun. I have a feeling there's probably a lot of improv, and both the leads, this Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They were both great. I thought they were really good. They made it. Like after the movie, I logged it on Letterboxd and looked at other people's reviews. It's not very highly reviewed. And a lot of the people who, like, I read a bunch of the negative reviews, and I don't totally disagree with a lot of the points. It was basically like, it's kind of a forgettable movie. The plot's not good, or the resolution felt disappointing, but that's not the movie for me. I can kind of overlook some of the negative plot stuff for the actual legitimate laugh out loud stuff. And there were several that made me laugh out loud. Yeah. Several things they said.
Yeah.
So, yeah, The Lovebirds on Netflix. It's not very highly rated, but I think it's worth a watch if you like those actors.
Or romantic comedy things.
Romantic comedy that's not too like cutesy. It's more comedy than romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, if you like romantic comedies, this would be a good one.
Yeah, because it doesn't suck.
It's gonna suck.
But we're biased, I guess.
What's the word? It's obvious. It sets up, like, you can tell how certain things are going to resolve because it sets it up, and it's like, I've seen a movie before. I know where this is going to go. Bautista.
Bautista.
Yeah, Stuber was not great. But I don't think it was his fault either. Bautista. That was just.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, you get a major actor as like your front man for a movie, and a lot of times, like, Henry Cavill's going through it right now, where Warner Brothers is like, I don't know if he should be Superman anymore. It's like, because you didn't give him a good script yet.
Yeah, Melanie said yeah. I'm sorry. I
had sorry.
Henry Cavill, he does good at brooding, and he can crack a Superman smile when they allow him to.
Right.
But I was like, I like him, but I don't really know, like, is he really a good actor? I love him on The Witcher.
I was to say, I think he's pretty good.
Even though he has so few lines, his delivery, and even if it's a grunt, and most of the time it's just a grunt or the F word, it's so good. He just puts the right amount of, like, just disgust in it. And it's like, I felt it.
And in Stardust, he was like campy and over the top, and that was kind of fun. Like, I think he could do it. Just give him a chance.
Stardust.
Yeah, we reviewed it for the show.
Oh,
remember? What? He was Henry like the fop. He was the fop, and he played against Daredevil. It was Daredevil versus Superman.
Whoa. How did I black that out?
Yeah, I mean, like remember at the very beginning, the guy was, when he goes off and finds the star, right? Like, he crosses over the wall. Yeah, like before that, it's because he wants to win the affections of that girl, and that girl is all about Superman.
Oh yeah,
all about Henry Cavill.
The other guy, the jerk.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm. I think that if they just had Henry Cavill be Henry Cavill, he would be Superman.
Yeah,
because he's a nerd.
He can do it.
Oh, he is a nerd, and also he's charming. Like, he's charming, but the most recent version of Superman we got, his Superman is a much more serious, self-serious character. So we don't get that much of it, as much as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
See, and I blame the writers for that, because as soon as they loosen up, as soon as we get a little injection of Joss Whedon, it was like, oh, I'm seeing the potential of a Cavill Superman. Let's see it.
Okay. Before I get to Savannah's comment, I just seen Eddie's foppish dandy soups is the soups we need.
We do. Make it so.
And Savannah says, I don't really follow comic book movies, but Cavill came out in Cavill. Caramel.
Sorry.
Delicious. Okay.
It melts in your mouth and in your hand.
Oh, Henry. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's got the puns tonight?
Delicious.
I just had the one. Cavill came out of nowhere for me in The Witcher, but I totally dig him. He isn't Tom Hardy to me, but he's good looking.
He's a legit snack.
Tom Hardy's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tom Hardy, but he's one that's, I don't know. I feel like more of his personalities come through in some of his roles, and he seems strange.
Yeah, but we like it.
Pa can't. Maybe you should have let those kids die.
Kevin Costner's darkest role, and he's had some dark roles. You know what? Kevin Costner usually plays a character that's kind of okay with kids dying. Because Waterworld, like, was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I'm not gonna go rescue you. All right, I'll rescue you."
Mm.
What is it, Costner? What is it?
Waterworld's Mad Max on water.
It is.
It
is.
It's Mad Max if it went the other way with the
Right.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
And I don't think I ever watched The Postman, or whatever it was called. The
Yeah.
one where it's like a
Oh,
post-apocalyptic.
yeah.
He's a mailman.
Yeah.
Is that the same kind of a thing?
I think
No, that's more like-
not quite.
That's like Walking Dead without dead people.
It seemed very like up its own butt epic-y, so I don't think I ever watched it. But
The book's decent, but it's just like everything's gone, and I mean not everybody's dead, but a lot of people are dead, and you know there's gangs of evil people, and then there's like little towns trying to survive against the towns or the gangs of evil. It's like that.
Eddie says Star Trek Nemesis Tom Hardy is my Tom Hardy, as in his. Savannah says Kevin Costner sucks.
Yes.
Eddie says Waterworld is Dollar General Mad Max. I love that. Except
It kind of is.
Except-
But Dennis Hopper, man, Dennis Hopper can
And
work at
oddly-
my Dollar General any day.
and oddly way more expensive though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
It's like you got less for more. Okay. What else did we watch? So I like where the Lovebirds went.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of stuff. Like
Did you?
Hit us with something, man?
we watched A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So Tom Hanks is Fred Rogers. So
how was that?
that was perfect. Like it was the perfect thing to watch last week, first of all, because like basically when your faith in humanity is basically dead, watch something about Fred Rogers and you'll feel like, oh, there's good human beings after all. And man, it's so good. The only problem that I have with the movie is that it starts with Tom Hanks singing the opening theme, and it's a little jarring because nobody sings quite like Fred Rogers, and so you're instantly going to compare. But after that theme song, I'm in. Like he doesn't do like a straight like impression of Fred Rogers, but he just kind of embodies him for the rest of the show, and it's so good that by the end of it, when he sings the outro theme, didn't even
Mr. Rogers.
It's like, you are Mr. Rogers, or
Please.
or I'm sold enough that it doesn't matter anymore.
Did you
So-
board that train to
The land of make believe.
Yes. God, I was
did.
saying it to you earlier
remember.
in the week.
Hop on the trolley, and then I was sucked into picture.
What's that?
Picture is this picture frame, and then they
Right.
would watch a video on it. Yeah.
Right.
And then Mr. McFeely is actually in one of the scenes. Like the
Oh,
original
really?
Mr. McFeely is like in the diner scene. And I was like, ah, there he is. So it was just like a joy parade, that movie.
I just remembered I haven't done any of my share stuff. I'm just gonna do the one share thing.
Well, I am very happy that you guys liked,
I didn't watch.
I know, shut up, that Jesse liked the Mr. Rogers show. I didn't. I mean, movie, because I never really even watched the show, so I don't even know what you guys are talking
You never watched Mr. Rogers?
about. No, he always seemed gross to me.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
He's like,
But you know-
he's like one of those people that is like so wholesome that you're like, are you even a real
That's
person? Or are
true,
you
man.
actually an alien just pretending to be a human and showing us how badly we suck at it?
I tell you what, if you went back to the past and told past me that it's like Mr. Rogers was a good guy, Bill Cosby, on the other hand, watch out for him. I'd have been like, what are you talking about?
Like, what? Yeah. The pudding pop guy? Yeah. Don't take any pudding pops from him.
Bill Cosby, man, that's still like, not to get on that, but like, he
I
was the face of forever.
I wouldn't have expected the whole thing, but I didn't really care for him. I was like, that guy's nerdy and annoying, and I would rather have my dad yell at me than have to sit there and like listen to that guy. That's how I felt about it.
Wait, which
You're
guy?
catching up on the chat, aren't you?
Cosby.
Oh,
God.
No, I was not catching up on.
Oh man, I was
There's a
reading
lot.
some of Savannah's hot takes, and I was like, oh man.
Field of Dreams is cheesy. It's cheesy. People like it, but it is super cheesy.
Okay.
Other stuff, because
Savannah?
we've talked about it in the past. I did watch What We Do in the Shadows. I did watch the movie.
Oh, you
First
watched
of
the
all,
movie?
Yeah, first I watched the movie, and I'm about I'm 3 point, not even a quarter. I started the 4th episode, and I was like, oh, this is really kicking off well, but I don't have time to watch the whole thing, so I'm just going to stop it here. So I just barely started the 4th episode. It's so good. Like, the whole thing's so good. Like, the movie was good.
Right?
The first 3 episodes were really good. I wanted to just keep watching, but I wouldn't have got anything done today.
Right?
Yeah.
It is. That show is so good. Savannah, thank
Yeah.
you. I love the movie, but like I said previously, I was a movie that was awesome, and then they're gonna make a TV show based on it. I was like, Savannah twisted Melanie's arm, and then Melanie said it was good, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll believe you. And I tried it. She made me watch it, and yeah. So what do you think? How do you think how do you think the show? I mean, you're only 4 episodes in, but I mean, you've got a taste of it. That the show is pretty consistent. How do you feel they compare?
I like them both for different reasons, and but I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes in different directions, because it already is just with the different characters already.
Mhm.
Like, you can see that they're kind of like pulling back to some of the characters from the film, but they're less obvious, like in the film. It was like, there's obviously the Vlad character, who's kind of a Dracula, like a Gary Oldman Dracula. You get the foppish dandy vampire. You get the Nosferatu looking guy. Forgetting somebody, I think. Oh, you got like the sexy vampire, the sexy
Right.
British vampire, that thing. So I was like, okay, so they're really hammering tropes in the film, and in this, they're a little more broad, but they also hit some fun themes, and maybe that'll be maybe it'll be more obvious tropes as time goes on. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. It's they feel like more unique characters. Each one of them
Mhm.
feels a little more unique.
Right. Yeah, I felt like there were definitely characteristics they took from characters in the movie, and at first I was like, so who's who?
Right.
But then the way it's not exactly that, and the way they expanded it, like there's a woman, but it's
Yeah.
not just that, but there's like a married couple.
Uh-huh.
2 of them are a married couple, is an interesting dynamic, and they're not super cliche about how they handle it either, which I appreciate.
Right.
Mhm.
And then the invention of this energy vampire,
Yes.
which
He's
was not
so good.
Yeah.
so good.
Well, and I just watched the episode with the energy vampire and the emotional vampire, and I was like, oh my god, that's perfect.
Mhm.
Yes, Savannah, you were right. Naja,
No,
It's
she's fantastic.
yeah, she's good.
And Naja is Savannah's spirit animal.
Oh, that's later. Barely, but
Yeah, I just barely started it, but I'm liking it. I'm really enjoying it.
I almost feel like, dude, I just looked at the news list. I'm almost dreading it at this point. There's something else. What have I been watching?
I don't know what you've been watching.
We watched a little bit of that Primal cartoon.
Oh yeah,
that you never
that was
remember
pretty
with
good.
the caveman. It's the what's his name? Jendi
Tarovsky.
Tarovsky. The Powerpuff, was it Powerpuff? Oh yeah, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, That guy, that creator.
Yeah, he did the original Clone Wars before they made it a CGI movie.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Like it was Clone Wars.
Well,
But-
he's the guy to do something like that.
Yeah. Oh, his Yoda was fierce.
Interesting. I didn't know he was associated with that. People, they just need to keep giving him money and just be like, make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Primal is awesome. There's no talking because it's a caveman. Essentially, for the most part, we only watched like 3 episodes maybe.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's a caveman and a dinosaur in like dinosaur world.
Sold.
And so like there's no talking, but somehow gets he hits you with a horrible emotional gut punch every episode.
It's so brutal. It's so brutal.
It really is. And it's just like, how? Like I feel like we would have gotten further into the show if it wasn't so depressing. And I want to watch more. It's good. The action is awesome because that guy like excels at that.
Right.
That kind of atmospheric action thing where it's like a samurai movie where it's all
I love
build
his
up.
Samurai Jack versus
Right.
the ninja episode.
Mm.
You know that one where they're
I
like
think so, yeah.
jump. It's like black and white, and they're just like jumping in and out of like
Mhm.
shadows, and it's awesome.
It's a recommend. We've only watched a few episodes. It's a cartoon.
I've got it on my watch list for sure.
Right.
We've been watching his Dark Materials, which is based on the Golden Compass.
Right.
And I didn't hear a lot of hugely positive things about the Golden Compass movie, but I've been enjoying the show. So
We watched 1 episode.
Yeah.
We'll go back.
it's slow. You should like get a couple episodes in because it really starts to pick up.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think part of the problem was we watched that and then we started watching
What We Do in the Shadows.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, just to your
Oh
books.
yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think we've been catching up on a lot of old stuff too, which is not fun to talk about.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I feel like there was something else.
I tried to make my nephew and my niece watch Venture Brothers, and you know what? Hulu couldn't even make it through the first episode. It kept crashing.
Hulu
Yeah,
kept crashing.
I was like, "What?" Yeah, I was so mad. It would get to the end of the commercials, and then stop, and then we'd have to boot it back up, and then it'd get to the end of the commercial after the first part, and then stop every time. We did it 4 times, and then
Hulu gets buggy sometimes.
Yeah, so we sat and watched like 5 episodes of Castlevania instead. But
Hey Ben, by the way, what's up, Ben? I just seen your comment. Oh, and we caught up on Rick and Morty. We weren't that far
Oh.
behind, unless
no, there's a whole other season out. I think that we just didn't get.
Did you start season 4? Because I got a certain
no.
I got to a certain point in season 4, but I haven't finished it.
Hulu and HBO Max, as far as like, if I was looking correctly, only have up to season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Season 3, we had some fun stuff. What'd you think of the end of season 3?
They kind of hit the reboot button, not really, but
A
kind
little
of.
bit.
Yeah,
bit.
Yeah.
very strange. But it's Rick and Morty.
It's
like
kind of like how they ended season 2, almost, but differently. Like end of season 2, Rick's in basically space prison. But this is like, oh no, Jerry gets his original spot back. And
did they even call it out? It's like she even says it's gonna be like season 1 again. It's like what?
Yeah.
It's Rick and Morty, like the show.
I mean, season 4 like kind of just lights that idea on fire because Rick's like, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm totally respecting this decision.
right. But at its very premise, like none of that ever matters. It doesn't matter. It's Rick and Morty. They're gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
They change universe, so technically, the whole rest of the family that we started with aren't even who's there now.
I
Yeah.
can't wait until you guys get to the dragon episode of Rick and Morty in season 4.
Is it like the pickle episode of season 3?
No, but yes, in a way. But like basically it starts out with Rick is just trash talking dragons, and the only reason that there's a dragon is because Morty wants a dragon. Right? Like that's how a lot of these episodes start. But towards the end of it, it's like it's all about Rick and the dragon. Like the Rick and the dragon are much more aligned than than Morty is.
Mm.
So I'll be interested to see what you guys think of that one.
Okay, we'll keep watching. All right.
It's the most Rick and Morty approach to a dragon you could have possibly asked for.
Okay, do we want to get into this news?
Yeah, let's do it. Yep.
All right. I'm watching our viewer count, and we're gonna watch it go down.
We're gonna watch it just dissolve.
Excuse me. Okay, well, so the first two stories, I think these both
can go together.
They both come from Deadline.com. But basically, Cops and Live PD have both been canceled. Probably, because of the ongoing protests against police brutality.
Probably.
Not probably.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the story. There's not much more to it. Cops apparently was only with the current company was on a 6-year run, but it would have been their like 33rd season or something like that. I mean, it's bad boys. What you're gonna do? It's Cops. It's been running forever.
I mean, well, what you're gonna do?
I never watched Cops. I liked Rescue 911.
I hated Rescue 911.
But Peter Didermeyer.
Yeah. The name they used for the whatever kid was in the...
Oh no, it was Putter. It was Putter Diedermeyer.
Ben and I did a really fun version of Cops and Hooper.
Did you?
Yeah. In high school, we had a video camera and we did Cops and Hooper, and it was we did nothing. We drove around.
Oh, and, I see.
Yeah, because there's nothing happening in Hooper, Nebraska, usually, especially in the middle of the day when we were doing it. We were probably the thing that the cops would have been like, "What's going on there?" But yeah.
I'll refrain.
It was entertaining. We were solid. We cleaned up the streets that day. So
Rescue 911, I hated that show.
Well,
I hated that show. It was just depression. That show was just
it was
depression.
saving people's lives.
It was
saving people's
lives.
It was
just tragedy and depression.
No, that's what Cops is. Rescue 911.
Not in Hooper, they aren't.
Okay, yeah, but Rescue 911 was like hopeful and wonderful. It was like this kid got struck by lightning and he's fine. He's just got a cool scar. Come on, that's so awesome.
It is depressing.
This kid had a toothbrush shoved through his throat and he survived and he talks fine.
That's not uplifting. Uplifting is not getting a toothbrush shoved through your throat. I'd feel good about a story where somebody doesn't get a toothbrush shoved through their throat.
But I feel good when I know that it doesn't matter if I'm stupid and I get a toothbrush shoved in my throat. I'll still be okay. That's more uplifting to me.
I don't know that that's always the case, though. So anyway, Cops got canceled. It was on the Paramount Network, which I don't know what company that was, but it used to be Spike TV. That got canceled first. And then it was rumored that Live PD, which apparently is the #1 show on ad-supported cable networks. I only knew this show existed because it's always on when I go to do my laundry at the laundromat. I didn't know this was a thing.
Me either.
But it's basically like Cops, but different.
Okay.
But it's like Cops, live streams, kind of.
I thought they weren't allowed to do that anymore.
I'm sure there's a delay or it's
I thought they were not allowed to not do that. Like you turn off the body cam, then you're in trouble.
Oh, this ain't body cam.
No, I know. I know. I had to go there though.
Yeah. No, they're not going to
do a show. Camera crew follow you around. You can't turn on your body cam. Come on. Okay. Unsolved Mysteries was great though. That was different.
Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries.
That's coming back, right?
Isn't
that coming back to something?
It should.
It was on.
But
it was on Netflix for a while. I think they had a new run of it on some service.
They have to clone the host though.
It's not on our news list, but I'm pretty sure they announced this past week that they're bringing back Unsolved Mysteries.
Good. Sorry.
So yeah, Live PD has been canceled. The production company's like, we're not giving up. We're not going we're going somewhere, but we're gonna try to make more shows. So they're shopping the show around.
Mhm.
But the network's like, no. It might seem insensitive right now.
Mhm.
Or not insensitive. I don't even know what the word for it would be. Just like, I don't know. I'm sure some people are like, whoa, pansies. But like, here's my thing.
Pansies are actually very rugged flowers. They can grow in almost any
Right?
environment, I
And
believe.
beautiful.
And beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
AF.
But it is one of those things where like it's kind of like read the room. At least
Right.
a couple stations are like, okay, we get it. We're reading the room and maybe we'll pull this. It is surprising. It is surprising that money didn't win out in the case of Live PD. Because apparently that was the #1 show on cable right now, which I didn't know. So that's a moneymaker, and they still axed it. So good. Like money doesn't always win out, I guess.
Yay!
Today.
Yeah.
They're hardy like Tom. All right. Suddenly there's this new news story that slid in the next
I don't know
line.
how that happened. Where'd that come from? Weird.
Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries reboot premieres in July with 6 brand new episodes. Jesse, what's all this about?
I mean, that's basically all I know.
Okay.
And the producers of Stranger Things.
Don't tell me.
Tell them. It's Unsolved Mysteries with the brand new reboot series that's coming courtesy of the original creators and producers of Stranger Things. Does it say if the wait? Who's the host?
It's not going to be the same dude.
Why?
He's dead. Apparently,
Yeah,
because they refer to him
I
as
mean,
the late Robert.
That's why
It's going to be
that's what
CGI James Dean.
CGI James Dean to play Robert Stack. Here's the ultimate unsolved mystery.
What?
They get him back to host.
And but they don't mention it. They don't be. They won't
It's
tell
just like,
you. They
he's
don't
just
tell you
there.
how. It's
You're
just
just like,
like
huh?
that's the unsolved mystery. Like,
You're like
yeah.
CGI or clone?
You know who they shouldn't get though? What's his name? Riker. What's his name?
Oh, what's his name?
He's just
Jonathan something.
He's just gonna go up there and ask you a million questions.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? What show is that? Like a Ripley's Believe It or Not type show or
that's
something.
exactly what it is.
And it's like a supercut of all his like, have you ever blah 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 blah? And it's like, why do you want to? Yeah.
Or how blah blah blah.
It's good. It's good. Internet memes. Yay. Okay. So. Okay.
Oh, they've already got the names of the
Episode
episodes
titles
and stuff. Wow.
and descriptions. Interesting.
Berkshire's UFO. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That doesn't really sound that.
Missing Waitress, No Ride Home, House of Terror, 13 Minutes, Mystery on the Rooftop. That sounds like Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah. I wonder, they should go back to some old ones because there was some scary stuff I remember from when I was a kid, like these footprints that went from the ground up to the roof and then back to the other side of the house. And they're like, how did that happen? And I'm like, yeah, how did that happen?
Jersey Devil. Boom. Solved. I'm pretty sure that's facts. Science.
I appreciated that the show would do stuff like UFOs and stuff like that, but it didn't. It's still like weird. It's a mystery. It's unsolved, but it didn't do like the super extreme like recreation or reenactments of like the haunting of whatever. And I don't know, like
They did a little bit of recreation.
Oh, they did, but there were shows in the 90s like that were like UFOs were big for a while. Ghost stories were, ghost hauntings were big for a while. And there was all these cheesy shows of like, here's a reenactment of a true story. And it's like, I don't know if that can be trusted. This is at least like, here's some weird stuff that happened. What could it be? Like, seems, I don't know, more legit to me.
Yeah. And they put like real stuff in there too, like this person went missing or this person's looking for their mom, that kind of stuff in there too, because they were, like giving up for adoption or something. And that gave it an air of legitimacy, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Like even here, like Missing Waitress, like, no, that's totally that kind of thing, which are not the more interesting stories, but
yeah. But it makes it legit.
I do like Savannah's point they will screw it up and get like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I was actually going to reply to her, but they won't get Joe Rogan because he's making that big Spotify money, so they'll get Ryan Seacrest because Ryan Seacrest is a clone of himself.
And he's not making any big anybody money. What's he doing
No.
these days?
I don't know, everything. Like
Cresting.
he just shows up and he just announces a thing
Cresting on
in the same way every time.
Mhm.
Joe Rogan used to do Fear Factor, right? Wasn't that
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was an announcer on UFC for a while, and yeah.
It's so weird to me that Joe Rogan is like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
You know, whatever his career when I seen him on like Fear Factor, I didn't assume like his career trajectory would be like, I don't know. I think he's fine. He's fairly well respected. I just wouldn't have like it's I don't know, whatever. He's got a weird
He's all over the place.
celebrity place
Yeah.
thing. He's got a weird place in celebrity
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
You don't care.
I care.
Shut your All right. Here we go. Well, that unsolved mystery was nice. Back into it, though. The Flash star, Hartley Sawyer, fired after racist and misogynistic tweets resurface.
So was this the stretch guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yep,
I only saw
elongated
him
man. Yep.
I saw him when he became elongated man, and that's it.
Yeah, we stopped watching shortly after. Just happenstance.
You know what they need? They need Lube Man. Because I want to know what the heck happened to Lube Man. They never addressed it. Okay, go on.
Also, Savannah said something a while back about Westworld. Westworld, watch it. Okay, so there's not much to say, but basically, like they do, the internet or somebody gathered together some old tweets of his and was like, "Here, internet, look at this. This guy's a jerk," and it got
And he
resolved.
was.
got results.
He
Warner
had some
Brothers-
really awful stuff. Yeah.
Warner Brothers said, or I guess, wow, that is quite a lead up to a name. Eric Wallace, he works for Warner Brothers and CW and Berlanti Productions, executive producer. Eric Wallace said, Hartley Sawyer will not be returning for season 7 of The Flash. In regards to Mr. Sawyer's posts on social media, we do not tolerate derogatory remarks that target any race, ethnicity, national origin, gender, or sexual orientation. Such remarks are antithetical to our values and policies, which strive and evolve to promote a safe, inclusive, and productive environment for our workplace. So I read, here's the reason Paul sent me a bunch of stories. Thanks, Moose, by the way. The reason I wanted to do this, because I read a bunch of these, because it was a little bit like, at first it's like, oh, what'd he say? And then it's like, well, is this going to be a James Gunn thing where it's like, yeah, like James Gunn had some very bad taste tweets, but dude, he was just trying to be like edgelord humor,
Right.
like 10 years ago.
Me too.
So is this right? So except you don't use Twitter.
Right. No, I don't.
So is this one of those cases? And I think some of the tweets are.
Right.
Woo! Some of them though go beyond the pale, and I'm like, okay, I get it, dude. Yeah, no, that's not okay. So like one of the ones, I'm gonna say it, but
Whew.
date rape myself so I don't have to masturbate. I'm like, okay, it's edgelord. It's not
Right.
funny.
That's more like self-deprecating humor,
Right.
almost.
It's not funny,
but
but
awful.
I
Like,
get it.
Making
Like,
fun
it's-
of date rape is not funny, but
that's more in like James Gunn territory.
right.
However, hold on. I'm probably not going to read it, but I want to pull it up so at least Melanie can. I mean, he drops the F word and not the F bomb, the other F word. And I'm like, dude, yeah, you can't. And there
that was in poor taste back in the 90s.
There were suicide jokes and stuff, but beating women jokes. That's never funny.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Why are you? Yeah, you should be sorry.
That was an odd reaction, Mel.
Well,
that was the right answer. You know what's good for you.
I mean, I guess you should be.
Yeah, I should be. Okay.
And also, some of them are supposed to be jokes, but are really weird, like too weird. It's like that's not.
Yeah. What is that? That's
okay. I'll read it
I don't
because it doesn't have
understand
any swears. But as a lad, one of my favorite activities, which was kidnapping homeless women and cutting off their breasts. I feel like I see where the joke is kind of going, and then it just like, and it's like, what?
Yeah, that's not a joke. That's
no, like it's not good. So whatever. And there's some legit homophobic stuff and stuff like that. I'm not gonna read all that stuff out. But yeah, Ben.
It's a shame because his character is pretty great in the show.
He cranked Poor Taste up to 11.
Yeah,
that's kind of it. And like, unlike some people that are just like, ooh, edgy humor, there is kind of an air of maliciousness to some of these. It's not just like, yeah, it's kind of in bad taste, dude. It's like, man, you all right?
Yeah.
We need to be worried about you. We need to be like concerned that you're going to do something or you're going to hurt somebody.
Yeah. It went into creepy psycho territories. Creepy psychos. Mine's just thick black humor is all mine is.
So,
are you trying to be racist on me? Come on.
No.
I went more euphemism there, but
you know who else you know who else is trying not to be racist?
Who?
HBO Max.
Okay.
Did you see this? This is from WWT.com.
Are you showing people?
No.
Well, then how can they know?
I'm asking you.
Oh, no. I know
this
nothing
is from
about
WWT.
I never watched that movie to begin with, so I really don't care what they do with it.
Anyway, this is a news article. I'm sure it's from a national. Yes, thank you, Paul. Anyway. Actually, that was probably more directed at me. HBO Max removes Gone with the Wind. Will add. They changed the headline.
Will add context.
They changed the headline.
They did, because I remember seeing it in your.
Okay, so the original headline was misleading. Paul sent this was another one. Paul fed me all these like salty ones.
He knew.
Gone with the Wind temporarily removed from HBO Max over racist depictions was the original headline. Definitely manipulative. This is coming from a local news station website. This is WWT.com, which is a NBC news thing. They've changed the headline. Wise, Channel 6, very smart. HBO removes Gone with the Wind, will add context. So basically that's it. Like they pulled it down and they're going to add a disclaimer. Savannah's very anti-HBO right now because since she orders HBO through Amazon, she can't get HBO Max.
Why?
That's weird.
I mean, she would have to, I think, would have to cancel her HBO account and then buy it elsewhere. Because HBO never got their act together. They don't know what they're doing. And you can buy it through Google. You can buy it through Apple. You can buy it through Amazon. You can be a subscriber.
You can almost get it through Hulu. I don't know.
Get it through Hulu. You can get it through your cable provider.
Yeah.
And Amazon and HBO are fighting right now. They're in a spat.
Okay.
So over advertising revenue and stuff like that. So yeah, no, she can't. Most people with HBO Now account, it just kind of became HBO Max, not her. Okay, so anyway, yeah, they took Gone with the Wind down to add a disclaimer about in a statement. Let's see. They called it a product of its time. Oh, just a disclaimer that basically historical context, like, hey, this depicts racial prejudices. It's a product of its time, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a non-story.
A little bit. I mean,
it makes sense that it had that real clickbait title, especially if it is a local to hear. It's a national article, but it's gonna get people already. Why are you messing with my Gone with the Wind? Trump says we should make more movies like that. And then you read it and it's like, oh.
But that's weird though, because now are they going to put disclaimers on everything?
Well, it's like
Django Unchained and
Disney did, I think, on the
Probably.
old Mickey Mouse stuff.
Well, Disney did on the older some of the cartoons and movies that they show on Disney Plus because they're Disney, but they also censored some of their stuff poorly.
McClunky.
Added that was George Lucas apparently.
No, I know.
Which is so funny because we're all over the place. I know. BBC ran the same headline. Okay. Oh, Jerry the Gnome, what's up? Matt D.
Howdy.
What up?
I'm pretty sure I'm the McGriddle in this scenario here.
McRib, McGriddle, and McChicken sandwich. Are you the McChicken?
Sure. I like McChicken. When I was little. Never mind. Don't matter. Go on.
Okay.
I think we could fill a show with Mel's asides that she doesn't
we
take.
definitely could.
You're like,
Okay.
All right.
Well, there's nothing much more to this. Whatever.
Nobody likes Gone with the Wind anyway.
However, here's something. Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam barred from using guns in Looney Tunes reboot.
Okay.
Are you outraged?
No.
Why not?
Did they really use them that much in the show?
Oh yeah, Elmer Fudd was like, I mean, that was like their characters. Elmer Fudd was a hunter.
I don't really remember. Oh, I guess maybe I remember them carrying a gun. But I don't remember them
rabbit
shooting.
season, duck season, rabbit season.
I'm
Duck season.
hunting rabbit.
Really, when I remember guns, I remember. I'm sorry. When I remember.
No, don't really be quiet. I was doing
Okay.
Elmer Fudd still.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, bad communication on my behalf.
When I remember guns, all I really remember was like bangs, like little flags that fell out. But I remember them using some dynamite like a mofo. Like
yeah, they
blowing
still
the
do.
crap
they
out of
do.
each other
They double
and push
down
each
on
other-
that.
Push each other off cliffs, like all
Mhm.
kinds of craziness. Dropping anvils on each other. I mean, who even has an anvil? But then they're gonna go drop it on somebody, you know?
What are we, blacksmiths?
I know. So I do have an anvil. Oh, I don't. It's my dad's, but whatever. It will be mine one day.
I mean, like the only one that I'm like, oh, well, that kind of stinks is that, Yosemite Sam, one of his big things was to shoot at the ground and it would like lift him up in the air because he's a little guy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
it's
Yeah.
the only thing that I would, but like, I didn't notice it. I didn't know. I mean, like, that's my hot take on this. I didn't notice it. They're fine.
I did think Elmer Fudd looked weird in a weird way, other than they're like intentionally drawing at all the characters in a almost older art style than some of the original cartoons were. And I couldn't put my finger on it. By the way, Matt, you asked what? I'm not sure.
I assume he's reacting to the lack of guns in Looney Tunes.
Okay.
Maybe
okay.
I'm wrong.
But I just realized what it is. He doesn't have his hunter outfit. If he doesn't have a gun.
Right.
What? So? I don't have a gun either, but I can wear some flappy eared hat.
Elmer
In
is,
fact, I do. Okay, go on.
Jerry the Gnome says Elmer is a hunter. How can he be one?
He's hunting wabbit.
The Elmer Fudd cartoon that I do remember watching out of the new one, he already has bugs. So he's already done his hunting. So is he a bow hunter now? So here's, obviously some people are upset about this because they're like, see, they're taking our guns. But look out. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Red Nugent, but I like or Ted Nugent, but I like Red Nugent better. That seems more appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Paul says taking Sam's guns makes perfect sense. He is completely irresponsible as a gun owner.
You know that his concealed carry permit is not like up to date.
Mm-mm.
So here's my. You want my hot take?
Sure.
Do it.
I feel inappropriate asking you that. Oh, my hot take.
My hot take.
Ooh.
My McRib.
Viewer. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a surprise. I'm fine with this. And past the salt. I'm not even super salty about it because there was some debate on Paul's post because he had posted this on his profile or whatever. And my favorite comment, and I was just like, checkmate. That's like, what do you got after that? It was a picture of an old Bugs Bunny cartoon with a black character in that very stereotypical old like blackface style. And then he's like, well, I guess, yeah, you're right. Looney Tunes should never change with the times. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's it right there. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Checkmate.
Yeah. And I know guns is a little bit different, but like, why does there have to be guns? Like, is it if the gun is essential to this character, that's not a good character.
Right.
If that's their whole character, like that's lame.
And if dynamite's not going to work for you, then
They still got
They
dynamite.
they blow everyone up in this thing. Like
Yeah,
everybody gets blown up.
Yeah.
that's a better message for our children anyway, because they're not going to be able to get
Right.
TNT. They don't even they'll be like, this candle looks like a thing. They'll never know. Okay, sorry.
And I'm fine with us. We don't have to worship the gun. We don't have to, like, in every piece of media we
Didn't
consume.
even notice.
We don't have to worship the gun. You don't need to spoon feed gun culture to your children.
Yeah,
they'll get enough of it as soon as they grow up. It's fine. They'll get it in their schools.
I mean, before you saw the headline, did you
got it.
notice or care though?
No. And besides, I think they need more holes and magic hats and stuff like that, because that was always my favorite stuff. I'm like, whoa, you can't really do that.
Right.
Because I was a nerdy kid.
Right. Well, okay. Think of like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. There was a long time where, like, whatever, I watched Tom and Jerry cartoons all the time. Occasionally there was a weird edit. I was a kid. I didn't think nothing of it. And then at one point when I was older, I seen like older on-cut ones. And I'm like, whoa, what's all this extra stuff? They used to edit cartoons all the time, even when we were kids. And it was usually like when they'd stick forks in light sockets. Yeah, it's probably fine to cut that out. You don't need kids to recreate that. And I'm not saying kids are going to recreate it with guns. They got plenty of other stuff to give them that influence, but it's fine. We don't need it. Maybe less guns in entertainment is fine.
Yeah.
See,
they're still going to play. They're still going to play their Happy Toy Murder game. What is that?
What?
I'm going to sound like an old man in half a second. Fortnite.
What
did I call it last stream?
I don't even know.
Murder for kids.
Murder for kids. Murder for children.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Jesse?
Oh, I was just going to acknowledge Paul's most recent comment here. Being okay with it, with them being gone, but it feels weird. But honestly, this is one of the times where I think the media really just wanted to rile us up. Because honestly, without this headline, I would not have noticed or cared.
Yeah, as long as they don't put walkies in, then everything's fine.
Dude, right. I was actually thinking about that earlier today. So also, I got to put this comment up here for a while, just because, wow, Matt. I don't think so. But I also know you're not being serious. Audio listener, you won't know. I'm sorry. Better join us Thursdays at 8 on Facebook or Twitch. I was thinking about that, and I think there's a distinct difference. Like, this isn't even a matter of like censoring existing cartoons. It's just like they're making new ones. They don't need to have the guns in there. But where it's different in like E.T. is the FBI agents running around with guns before they got digitally changed to walkie-talkies in certain versions. They weren't supposed to be happy, fun, or lead to hijinks. That was a threat. That was a credible threat that the kids are supposed to be scared of.
Right.
That's fine. You can have that. There can still be a sense of danger. And in fact, I feel almost more harmful to take the guns out at that point, because you're robbing it of that sense of danger. The guns are supposed to feel dangerous. Guns should feel dangerous because they're murder weapons.
Right. Yeah, that's their only purpose.
They are there to murder. That's what they exist for. So, like, it's context. It's context. Context is important. Elmer Fudd was weird. I do have to say, Elmer Fudd is a little weird, because it's like something about him.
Well,
like,
his most iconic role is as the hunter.
but that's, I guess, not all he's done.
No, I mean, like the way that they used him in the swimming pool episode of the new Looney Tunes. He would do stuff like that once in a while. I believe that it was Elmer Fudd's house that Daffy breaks into at one point in the old series. I suppose he gets a gun out at that point, but like there's times where he didn't have a gun. He's just really funny with one.
Will Bugs stick his fingers in a walkie-talkie and it blows up like the sticking fingers in a gun? Maybe.
I mean, they did that whole thing where it's like, shake my hand, and then you pan away and he's like, hey, what's up, Doc? And it's actually like a stick of dynamite with a glove attached. So I mean,
that was one of the ones that actually got me, because then when he turned back to where Bugs was standing a second ago, it was like a bunch of dynamite in the shape of Bugs Bunny. It's like,
oh yeah, it was like, that's a lot of dynamite.
It went weird. Okay. But yeah, the Yosemite Sam one was great that I seen was great.
Yeah.
Like his whole thing is whatever. He's like cowboy. You just set him in Old West type period and you're fine.
I think it was written really well, because normally I would have noticed that. I would have been like, oh yeah. And I had to think about it after I saw the article. But the main thing, it's like the Associated Press really knew what they were doing with this, because it went everywhere because it was Associated Press. It even went to my local newspaper, and you can just imagine what the comments look like. That's all it was designed for. This was designed to hit internet news and to blow up comment sections.
Yeah. And Kill the Wabbit is everyone's favorite because it's the best.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But that's not gone. You know, like it's not like they took it out of the old episodes. They're just not putting it in the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go watch the old episodes, and they better all be walkie-talkies in their hands now.
No. And I think
I kind of want to see that though, because that'll be ridiculous too.
Sorry, the best Daffy Duck episode is the one where he wants to get that guy to listen to his nephew sing, and then at the end he does, and he's got that big sucker. That thing is great. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go. Move on.
Okay, where was I? Let's see.
Elmer Fudd.
We got that. All right. We're through all of that. I definitely didn't express myself as articulately as I had hoped.
That's okay.
But
we never do.
Okay, so let's stick on HBO Max since we got a theme going.
Sure.
This first story is kind of superseded by the next one, but from we got this covered.com. So
ooh, that's a credible source.
What, they got this covered?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
This is I don't know why I have this one specifically, this source specifically, but whatever. I mean, this is legit. Cherry's over there just like singing to himself. He's the only one in the Twitch chat too. That must look so lonely. I'm sorry, man. See, we get behind the scenes here. We get both chat mixed together. So Facebook and Twitch comments are all mixed together.
Right.
But I just realized, like, on his screen, it's just him typing into the chat. He's not seeing
all the other people. All
these other ones with, yeah. Okay, so HBO Max losing Batman v Superman, Justice League, and more in July. I'm sure it's other movies, but the main thing is they're losing a bunch of the DC movies, and people are like, I thought the DC, like, you guys used the Snyder Cut Justice League thing to draw people to your service. Like, I thought the DC programming, like your Warner Brothers, I thought the DC programming was a big part of this. What's the deal? Because some of it will literally have been like, they launched the service 2 weeks later, they're losing a bunch of the big DC titles. It's like, what?
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Come over to Facebook, Gnome Guy. He's got an account now.
Yeah, Paul calls him out there.
We've corrupted him.
Mhm.
This is stupid. In reference to, I'm assuming the story. Yeah. So like, and again, one of my gripes, I know I've said it before, but like, I'm kind of disappointed in HBO Max because I was like, it's not just HBO, it's Warner Brothers, and they own a bunch of stuff, and they acquired some stuff. They acquired, there's some Doctor Who and other stuff. So I was like, it's gonna be this huge, awesome catalog. It's good, but it's not as exhaustive as I would have kind of expected.
Well, and I don't feel like it's what they promised either, because they did make it sound like all of the DC Unlimited stuff was coming, and we basically got one show?
Yeah. Well, there's some of the animated stuff, but I don't even
okay.
think it's like any of the original animated stuff. I think it's the older animated series.
Right.
Yeah. Where's Swamp Thing? Where's Titans? We got Doom Patrol, which is awesome. But is that going to, are those shows going to also like drop off and come back once in a while?
If that's the case, I want to know so I can get through Doom Patrol fast,
So, because it popped up, like a lot of it's like, the app has a leaving soon section, and a bunch of these movies popped up in there, and people are like, what? Okay, so jumping over to observer.com, it's credible. They're observing.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is, though, actually, because I found this article through other articles. I always try to find the source article. Listen, I know how to do news. I always try to find the source article where it originated.
Right.
So the only information, and this is the information HBO gave out, was they will be giving, because people are like, well, what's the deal? And I was like, I get that like Disney Plus, there's some Disney movies that they don't have, like some of the Star Wars, because it's still locked under like an agreement to be at Netflix for a while. I figured this was the same case where it's like some type of licensing thing. It's weird. Warner Brothers owns all this. They shouldn't have that issue, but maybe they promised Batman v Superman to Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or somebody for this certain time period. No, that's not the case. So according to Observer, they reached out to HBO Max for comment, and a representative told them, quote, "We have a collection of DC films that will rotate on the platform. We have a new batch coming in July, and then another batch coming in August. And I have just confirmed that the batch that is on right now will be returning."
So they're gonna try to be like Disney and lock stuff in a vault for months.
Yeah, I don't get this point. The point of what is
basically going to do? They're going to do the HBO thing on the HBO app, because that's what they do. They have a featured block of movies every month, and then it's a new block for the next month.
And that's a holdover from cable. Like that's a holdover from the cable service. And I assumed that HBO Max would be different because it's HBO branded, but it's not HBO. It's Warner Brothers. It's Warner Brothers Plus, So they're so stuck on the cable format, on that model.
I think that they're thinking that, like Netflix, constantly has to be making new stuff, and that's why they're probably floundering to keep getting new people. They're like, well, we're going to solve that problem because we're not going to have to keep getting new people, because they're going to have to stay to see what they want to see, because it's not going to be playing yet. It's going to be playing in 5 months. That's what it is.
No, that you're probably right.
Plus, they don't have as much original content as Netflix does.
Well, they don't. I mean, do they have any?
What? They have a block of original shows.
Oh, do they?
But like Late Night with Elmo. I mean, like, I don't know. They're not all great, but.
Paul says, "I'm disappointed in the lack of programming on HBO Max." You know what?
The adult programming, specifically.
Yeah, what did I say?
You just jumped over adult.
Adult. I censored it. Adult programming on HBO Max. You know what? You're right, because it's HBO and Max. When I think of cable and Max, I think Cinemax, Skinemax. This should be the most adult of streaming services.
It should be.
What was it? The Red Shoe Diaries or something like that? Like none of that
Oh,
stuff is on there,
Snap.
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Sorry, Matt. You didn't have to come over. It just like struck me as like,
Matt D can see the whole chat now.
yeah,
Yep.
it seemed lonely to me. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it. I've like there's some stuff I've enjoyed. Like there's the shows with the exception of like Looney Tunes, the shows I've enjoyed are all pre-existing shows. They're not originals. Doom Patrol's on there. That's good, but I've already seen
the
it.
Concords. I mean, yeah.
Articles did state repeatedly that it would launch with Doom Patrol season 1 and 2, and that's a lie.
Right.
So, it's a little bit of a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I have been revisiting the Ninth Doctor Who stuff, and it must be the like remastered or whatever they released on the Blu-ray. It looks pretty good.
Oh,
but yeah, I don't know. It's a little disappointing. Like I kind of hope it improves. They get more in their catalog or something, or I'm probably definitely not going to stick around, keep it around forever.
Yeah, except for when there's a new season of Doom Patrol or like the next.
Except for the thing they hate when people do. Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah,
your service sucks. Why should I keep it all the time?
Yeah,
right.
Netflix at least does have that constant stream of stuff I'm interested in coming out. I keep Netflix.
Yeah, shut up HBO and make another Game of Thrones type series.
Well, I think that's what his Dark Materials is supposed to be, but it's not.
Oh no, I mean it's not.
Even the intro, did you notice? Even the intro is like, oh, they're trying to invoke Game of Thrones. Like, why would you do that with this though? This property is not Game of Thrones,
but it's fantasy. It's all the same. Matt, the closed captioning setting, I think you can turn off. I think it's not on our end. It'd probably be on your end. It's probably wildly inaccurate. Like when we say, I regret that.
You regret it?
Yep.
Probably everything that I say is like a big jumble of because I can't. I'm a mush mouth and I can't.
It's usually surprisingly accurate, but
but
not perfect at all.
My phone cannot understand me at all, Randy. I try to talk to text, and I usually even edit the stuff I send to you a little bit.
Because, when you do the speech to text,
yes.
Yeah, it's always a mess.
It's horrible.
To the point where sometimes I'm like, I can't make out what the intention was there.
Yeah.
When you replace a word in a sentence, you can usually figure it out.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Who did I send one? Savannah. I sent one to Savannah
Dr. Patrol. Yes, let's watch Dr. Patrol. Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
I'm assuming he's putting Doctor Who and Doom Patrol together.
Man, Alan Tudyk as I don't know, the Master. I want Alan Tudyk as the Master now.
Yeah, I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Look, Randy's got evil goatee on.
Oh yeah, I was like, how should I save it?
It's mirror, Randy.
She's like, it needs to make evil goatee. I was like, I don't know how to make it evil. I don't know.
It's a goatee. It's evil.
All right. The captions add a new level to the show. It's true.
Oh God, we'll see that next week on Previously.
So here's
best of the captions.
Here's my next story.
Okay.
It's not my story. This is coming from filmmusicreporter.com. It's a little different. A little bit different.
That's a really specific niche right there.
Filmmusicreporter.com. I bet they report on the sports.
Yeah, probably.
The sports.
Which
one? The sports.
The NASCAR sport.
Ben's still listening.
Car sport.
Ben, we love you. You know what, Ben?
Yes. That's straight up legit.
Yeah, it's legit. I can't do the voice. All right. Danny O'Mani.
I mean, can anyone properly imitate Danny O'Mani? He's an original. I mean, straight up.
Okay. Tom Hulkenberg,
That's a name. Whew.
also known as Junkie XL, is scoring Adam Wingard's Godzilla versus Kong. Junkie XL, like, he shows up on a lot of film soundtracks. Mad Max Fury Road, Deadpool, Batman v Superman, Alita Battle Angel, Terminator Dark Fate, a lot of the modern, like, kind of big blockbuster sci-fi or action-y stuff, you know, whenever they want like kind of an electronic sound in there.
Oh,
good.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Had to mute for a second. Sorry about that. And it seems like he's usually then joined by another composer. But yeah, I guess the main thing was, hey, it's some type of update on Godzilla vs. Kong. The film is directed by Adam Wingard, who did The Guest and You're Next. I love that guy. Those movies are great. I love those movies.
Well, woohoo! He's gonna do that with a big lizard and a bunkie.
Yeah, bunkie and big lizard.
I didn't say bunkie.
That's what I heard.
I said monkey. Check tactic to talk or whatever.
Check text to talk
or talk to text, whatever. You know what I mean. Closed captioning.
The movie will star Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall. Is that Isa Gonzalez, Julian Dennison? You know what? I've gotten a lot further in here than I needed to on those names and other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. It's Godzilla vs. Kong. You know what that's going to be.
Yep.
I'm suddenly somewhat excited about that. This guy's other upcoming projects include Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
Oh.
Zack Snyder's making a movie called Army of the Dead. It's to be released in 2021. I didn't know that.
I didn't either. What's it about?
It's about an Army of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
It's going to have Dave Bautista.
Oh.
We were talking about him earlier. Ben says he liked the last Godzilla. I haven't.
It was fun. There was a lot of monsters.
Which one was the last one?
Okay, I didn't see that one.
King of Monsters. It had
right.
What's her name?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yes, that's
11.
One. See, I can get Taika Waititi all day long, but I can't get her name.
Well,
this just in, Randy actually loves a movie or two. We talk about movies I like all the time.
Yeah. Like
oh my.
Drive.
I love Drive.
He does love Drive.
He does.
Go listen to Grawlix Cinematic Universe.
And
talk about lots of movies there.
Ryan Gosling's gonna be Wolfman.
Oh yeah, where was that story? Ryan Gosling's gonna be Wolfman.
Yep.
There's gonna be Wolfman movies. Ryan Gosling. I don't know where that article went. I forgot.
Everybody's gonna get pregnant. It said so in the article.
Oh yeah, it was a cracked article or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You were amused because they said Ryan Gosling's gonna be Wolfman and everyone in the audience is gonna get pregnant.
Because he's gonna be shirtless.
Because he'll be shirtless.
And in torn pants.
Is it a sequel to Dawn of the Dead? I've got to. Oh. Well, how did I not connect that? Zack Snyder Army of the Dead. Even more interesting, upcoming Netflix original film is what Army of the Dead is going to be. I mean, that's what the story's become now. So I didn't know that was a thing. Let's find out.
Oh.
There's no.
Excuse me.
Maybe an unofficial sequel, which is kind of how the original trilogy of Romero's Deads worked anyway. They're all unofficial sequels because they were like different movie studios he did it with. Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted.
What heisting? What? Because at that point, money's no good, right?
Zombie money.
Brains.
You know what my dad taught me?
Well, that was the other ones. Those are Night of the Living Dead ones.
Hold that thought.
Yes.
What'd your dad teach you? reads. Here's how I read this in my head. Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries. Boring. Really, mercenaries in a heist? That's fine, but like, all right, whatever.
Rick and Morty.
And one of them is Jesus.
You son of a bee! I'm in.
What did your dad teach you?
My dad taught me that if we ever had an apocalypse, because I like to talk about these things, and he would talk to me about them. He's like, you should learn how to grow stuff like tobacco and coffee and stuff that's going to be gone and everybody's going to want, or you need to go become a doctor or somebody that is going to have a rare talent that is needed by everybody. He's like, those things are going to be your money. He's like, so do those things and then nobody will even try to hurt you because you got what they want. And I'm like, thanks, Dad. I'm going to survive the apocalypse. Okay, let's go on.
Now this might be interesting. So Matt says Zack Snyder only had like 3 good movies and Day was one of them.
Did Zack Snyder do Day or Dawn?
Dawn.
Okay, because
that's what he meant. It was Dawn.
Okay, because there was a remake of Day too, and it was not as good.
No,
at all.
It was not good at all.
Good.
Movie. I think it's been remade a couple times, but there's one with Ving Rhames in it. Not good.
No.
We don't talk about that. It doesn't exist.
Okay. Next. What?
Wait, what's this? Okay, hold on. If there's a zombie apocalypse, do not go to the grocery store, which is why I want to show about a guy who's holed up in a grocery store during the zombie apocalypse.
It almost never goes well. Like if you think about all the times that like on The Walking Dead, they do go to a grocery store, like something bad always happens. I think even in Warm Blooded or whatever, the Romeo and Juliet zombie movie.
Oh,
which is not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
No, it's really not.
Warm Bodies, right?
Nobody talks about it. It was okay.
It's really pretty good. But even in that one, don't go to the grocery store. It does not end well.
I'm surprised you don't see more
John
people.
of the Dead, Matt.
I'm surprised you don't see more people down in industrial areas where, those things are like made and stored.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what are made and stored?
Goods.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Food and
warehouses
things
and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Why Sigourney Weaver is unsure about doing Alien 5?
Wasn't Sigourney Weaver unsure about doing Alien like
3?
2 and 3 and
probably because of the reception of Alien Covenant and Prometheus and
so okay, this is according to cinemablend.com, but it's based on an interview that she did with Empire. Ridley Scott's made it known that he'd like to do a sequel to Alien Covenant. He has some ideas. Now apparently there's still God, this franchise is such a mess.
Have you guys seen Covenant? Because I haven't.
I have not seen Covenant. I see Prometheus.
Yeah.
If you want to count that, I mean, it's in that world, but it was the last one I saw.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
So.
Randy just saw Ben's comment.
You haven't
right?
seen any of the Alien movies? That kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, how do you live life and never
How do you live with yourself?
I mean, no, it's everywhere. I mean, at least the first 2. I can't. It's amazing to me that you haven't seen them.
The first one is one of my favorite horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I consider the first one to be a horror movie, and
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying they play them all the time, or they always did in my life.
But I mean, to be fair, I don't fault anyone that doesn't want to watch Beyond 2.
I think I've seen Alien 3. I love that.
Yeah.
I've never been. I'll have to revisit it.
Is that the clone one?
No, that's the fourth one.
The prison.
Oh,
that's
fourth
Alien
one.
Resurrection. Alien 3 is the prison one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've never been a hater of it, but it's been.
I've watched them all, but except for Covenant.
I've never watched Resurrection.
I liked Resurrection, but that was the one. Yes, you have.
I never watched the whole thing.
The one with the French guy?
I know who's in it.
Okay.
Because I like the filmmaker and I like that French guy.
I don't like the end of it. It's weird.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
It kind of makes me a little sad too.
So, well, there was a version of Alien 5 has been okay, he says he thinks he's seen Alien 3 and Resurrection then. Oh, the two crap ones with Sigourney Weaver. Then not the two good ones. No wonder you've never watched the rest. Why would you? No, I don't.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, I watched those to check a box, honestly.
I can't trash talk them, but they are not the high point of the franchise for sure.
Does she even walk with one of the big like in either of those?
That only happens in 2, right?
Yeah, it's iconic.
No, it happens in both of them. Does the first one and the second one? I swear she had like a little one of those. Oh wait, maybe I'm thinking of something else. Never mind.
You thinking like a parody?
No.
Aliens. Alien 2 is great, but Aliens does have like that. The get away from her, you be like. It's got iconic kind of pop culture moments. That is kind of what makes it surprising. Cool. It's kind of what makes it surprising that you haven't seen it, but that's all right.
That could be, Ben. We probably did watch it.
So anyway, there's been a couple versions of like what an Alien 5 would be or whatever. And of course, yeah, I mean, what's her name? Sigourney Weaver's not been keen to do any of them since probably the first one.
Well, because the last one she was in was so weird, like.
Spoilers, they killed her at the end of 3 because she's like, the only way I'm going to do this movie is if you kill me at the end so I don't have to do more. And then they resurrected her.
Actually, initially, she didn't want to be the main character either.
She didn't want to be the main. She agreed to do Alien 3 under the understanding that she would be a supporting character and Michael Bihn's character, was it Michael Biehn? Would be the lead. And then they threw him out and made her the lead. We actually watched it. There's on the YouTube channel Matt McMuscles. He does mostly video game stuff, but he has this really great series called What Happened. And like I said, most of the time it's video games, like basically like some big, huge, like financial, like company ruining flops. He'll go in and like, well, what happened behind the scenes that led to this game flopping? But sometimes he also does movies, and he did a recent video on Alien 3. It's basically like, what happened? Where did this go wrong? Super interesting.
Yeah.
I recommend it. That's why I mentioned it. Is Bruce Campbell on your news list? He is now.
Yeah, I just added it. I was trying to low-key do that.
So basically, well, and what's his name? There was talk of, we almost got an Alien sequel by what's his name? Did he end up going over? No, was it Tim Miller? It wasn't Tim Miller, was it? Is the other guy that Blomkamp is the other guy that's good with visual effects. Neil Blomkamp. We almost got an Alien sequel with him, but then that got derailed when Covenant went into production. And I think it sounded like she was actually potentially interested in that project. But at this point, she said, most recently, here's what the whole story is about. Quote, when asked about her feelings towards another, go at Ripley. Quote, I don't know. Ripley has gone in a different direction. Maybe Ripley has done her bit. She deserves a rest, end quote. I appreciate about Sigourney Weaver is for the last, like, 20 years at least, she just doesn't seem like she gives any Fs.
No.
Like,
right.
Whatever. She'll just randomly show up in like Cabin in the Woods or some random like comedy. It's like, what?
Or Daredevil, and then hit it out of the park.
Right. And then just like, yeah, she seems like the kind of person she probably doesn't have to work. She just pop up in whatever she feels like.
Yeah.
And not really get bent out of shape about any of it.
Right. Like, oh, you're going to kill this character? Great.
That's what the alien money do for you.
This is perfect. So that was our first news story in our new segment called Sequels That Might, Probably, Won't, Possibly, May Happen segment. The next is Campbell confirms Evil Dead Now will be the title of the fourth Evil Dead film. And also, it's not going to be Ash.
Aww.
Right.
He's old.
Yeah, he's in the future. with his daughter or whatever.
He's been saying, and I feel like because they produced the Evil Dead remake, I feel like when they did that, they're like, yes, people will finally stop asking me about this. And then they didn't. And I feel like he's just trying to get to the day where people are just like, when's the next Evil Dead? When are you going to be Ash again? I'm amazed we got 3 seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I did eventually get around to watching that 3rd season, and it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed the end quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Still left it open. I want more Ash.
Right.
Yeah, man, that show is ridiculous.
So Evil Dead Now, what was the premise? I think it's super early in development. I think they're still like, I don't think it's a sure thing, but that's kind of what they're calling whatever that movie would be. Apparently they have an idea.
Mm-hmm. Do they have Killer Clown from Outer Space bobbleheads?
Yeah.
Do they?
Wow.
Right there.
Wow.
And finally, here's a very nothing story.
I like that show.
I'm not saying the movie's nothing.
Okay.
This is from cinemablend.com. Happy Deathday 3? ? Jason Blum offers update on the threequel. Jesse, have you seen any of the Happy Death Days? You have to.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to, because I feel like the first Happy Death Day is, I don't know, maybe better. I don't know.
I mean, it's basically Groundhog Day, but you die.
Yes. Sit through the first one. It's entertaining. It's good. But I think you'll love the second one. Because
really? Because I was questioning why there even was a second one.
Dude, the second one expands it in such a like 80s adventure movie way.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm like, what? It goes in a strange direction, but those movies are so much fun.
They are. They're very fun and funny, and I was guessing.
Right.
And I did actually guess, I think, but not until very close to the end.
Worth a watch. Good movies. Matt says, I want Freddy v. Jason v. Ash that was rumored so many years ago.
Oh man, that would be so fun. And the comic was a lot of fun too. So like, I mean, you wouldn't have to do the comic, but you could pull stuff from it and just make a good movie out of it.
I don't know, man. I think Freddy and Ash in the same movie might be a little bit too much. Like,
it's just going to be like them spitting stupid one-liners back and forth for 20 minutes before they actually start fighting.
Yeah.
Right. They eventually just like sit down and have a beer.
Yeah.
I think we're beyond that though. I don't think either guys that you want in those shoes are fit enough. Not that they're not fit, but they're not young enough, man. They're beyond it.
Right.
Yep. And real quick, before you close off the screen for the Happy Death Day.
I haven't even done the story yet.
Oh, you could do it.
Okay. Here's the story. So basically, Jason Blum, because it's a Blumhouse thing, but he gets asked about it constantly because there is a small but rabid fan base for these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Killed a wabbit.
Wabbit. And in the past, he said it's not going to happen. And the director of the two films said in the past has told fans it's not going to happen. It's not in the cards. And I don't think the second one did very good. It didn't bring in as much money as they wanted. So whatever. However, apparently recently he spoke with Yahoo Entertainment and he said, quote, "Let me tell you, I'm working overtime on it. Believe me, I'm trying. Nothing official yet," end quote. Which is not a no.
Right.
But it's Yahoo.
Isn't that what happened to Community?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like you might get the show, but it might not be the show you wanted.
Fingers crossed for a movie.
Yep, that's what they promised.
Every couple of years, the Community, it's gonna be that thing because they did that table read on Zoom or whatever they're using of an episode, and we watched it, and it was so good. And they even had Danny Glover there.
And they had
they made jokes about him.
Not the Manchurian.
The
Mandalorian.
The guy that played the Mandalorian stepped in for an extra character in one of the episodes.
He laughed. He like couldn't stop himself from laughing. He had to like do the same line like 3 times.
Anyway, but it's like, I wonder what they talk about on the stuff that we don't get to hear. The whole cast and Dan Harmon all together.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yep.
About things.
Yep.
With community in mind.
Okay.
I'm just saying. The prophecy has yet to be fulfilled.
I know.
They got 6 seasons.
In a movie, I know.
I want that. No, they didn't get the movie.
No,
I want that movie. The prophecy?
Yes, I'm saying. The prophecy.
Who's still with us? Hey, we're doing all right tonight. I'm so glad.
Okay. What's next? Oh, wait, no, I didn't get to say my thing.
Yeah, please.
If you're going to get murdered, I think a baby mask is way scarier than a husky mask or a ghost face mask. If the giant baby mask person is trying to murder me, that's what I'm terrified. Okay, that's all I had to say.
It's a good mask. It's goofy.
It's pretty creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse. I think Happy Death Day, I feel like those films fall into a weird area. The first one is it's got that sci-fi plot or that sci-fi like premise, but it's still like the first one is like a fun sci-fi twist on a horror slasher movie, and it's still distinctly a horror slasher movie. The second one feels like it then grabs onto that sci-fi thing and just runs with that. We're just going this way over here now. Like it's still got this thing happening, but we're going over here.
And I like
how has Savannah never watched Community? That she seems like the exact kind of person
that would watch Community. I know.
Start watching it right now.
It's
turn us off. Community started episode 1. It's serial. You have to start at the beginning.
Yeah, you will like it. And it
watch season 4, even if it's not good, just do it anyway.
Arrested Development. It reminds me of Arrested Development. I know it's not the same at all, but it reminds me of it. The feel of it.
It's got that meta.
Yeah.
It's a very meta show.
Oh, it's super meta.
Hi, Jesse. Oh, you're here. I just felt like we're having our own conversation. I felt bad because we're like, I look over and you're just like being very patient, very nice.
These are shows I don't know much about.
I know.
So a Slitheen is scary to you?
A Slitheen?
Because
when they have those baby faces? Yeah. That was creepy as all crap.
But they're so stupid. Community is on, I think it's on Netflix again. I think Netflix got the whole run now.
Oh, even the Yahoo stuff?
Yeah, even the Yahoo season.
Yep. And it's got Danny Glover.
Up to a point.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, we got to get to this thing because this is
we have to get the thing.
What's this thing? Oh, the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Are we ready for trailer?
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Boom.
Trailer talk we don't have a name for this segment.
Trailer talk. That makes me think of the park.
Where's the Arrested Development movie? Did they ever do that season of Arrested Development that they were talking about? Because they did that weird season on Netflix, and then Netflix, there was the whole like kind of kerfluffle behind the scenes because Netflix basically recut the episodes and released it twice, and the actors were like, I should get paid twice, which seems strange to me. It's like
they didn't do any extra work.
It's just a re-edit. Yeah,
the editors and the producers should get paid twice.
They're playing.
Did we not say Donald Glover? Did we say Danny?
Danny Glover. No.
You might have said Danny Glover. Oh. He really is getting too old for this.
Wait, which one's which? No, I forgot.
You know who the F we're talking about. Freak.
No. Okay.
I will we watched the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now
we sure did.
Are we gonna share it? Share it.
Bill and Ted Face the Music is what we're talking about. Have you guys seen this trailer yet? Are you excited in the chat? What do you guys think? Jesse, you seem like you might have a passing interest in Bill and Ted.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna display my art.
Okay, go get it.
Okay, I'm gonna display my art.
Should I? They're gonna see you.
Oh my!
No, they won't.
They're gonna see you right now. You're not hiding. They can see you.
It's
sneaky. Not very good because it's
very sneaky.
Perspective on the back.
Stop it. It's fine.
It's not very good. I need to fix it, but
you're not touching it.
Oh, very fun. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Man, can you imagine the
Sorry.
circuits of time? Can you imagine what the Doctor would think? Those two like coming into contact with each other.
Okay.
That would
Yeah,
be
I
fun
love that.
just to
I
hear
love
them
that
talk
idea.
to each other. You know, like any iteration of the Doctor trying to communicate with those two.
I feel like most would be annoyed. Late season 12, I think would enjoy them.
Well, yeah, because he
turned
could
it-
jam with them.
Exactly. He was a
Love
rocker.
would jam.
If they were like,
Yeah.
he'd be like, oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's where they learn. Okay, I'm sorry.
go.
Yeah, they should be able to at least call each
Please.
other on their phones.
Okay, yeah.
I was a little worried that this was going to get super serious, and then I saw this trailer, and I was like, yes! I knew that they were going to have the Reaper and whatnot, but it seemed like everything they were showing us was like them in like prom gear or whatever, or them like Ted wears a button up, you know? So I was like, oh man, is this going to be like super serious? Like we're all grown up, Bill and Ted. But then I saw the trailer and it was like, okay.
Yeah, they're just Bill and Ted still.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because there's Keanu. What's the other guy's name?
Alex Winter.
Alex Winter. Between Keanu and Alex Winter, I was like, I don't think Alex Winter aged quite as well as Keanu did. But then watching them on the screen in the trailer,
yeah,
I feel like Alex's
his voice and energy is the same. Whereas, like, I'm not saying that Keanu's is not, but like his voice,
it's different.
His voice has gotten gravelier as he's gotten older, and yeah. So Ted was always very like soft vocals, and now he's got this gravel to his vocals.
It's interesting because like he's doing this. It's the same voice. He's doing the voice, but you're right. It's gravelly. It's
all that John Wick talk.
Not weaker, but kind of like it sounds older, like significantly older. And I was like, I like that Bill has the same energy, and he's real close. Actually, it's less jarring with him.
Is it really stealing? If we're stealing from ourselves,
yeah,
it was like, oh my god, it's perfect. Yeah,
but even though Keanu's, his voice is different, I was like, it kind of seems right. That seems, I could see.
Yeah.
Old.
Especially when they go into the future and meet their future selves, and the way that he reacts to them, where he's like, did you hear the music? He's like, yeah, it was kind of dark, but that's cool.
Yeah, I liked it. I like that.
So we're not gonna watch it.
What has Alex done? No, I'm not gonna watch trailers on the streams anymore. Just because
that'll get us kicked.
You can thank YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube won't play us.
Even without the audio, I play a trailer and they'll flag it.
What if we periodically stick my face in it?
I want to stick my face in it. I know that's not how that goes, but I'll have to get that. What that makes me want to do is just take like South Park style or something. Is take pictures of your head and just prepare a version of the trailer, but it's just your head on all the characters throughout the whole thing.
I'd love that.
I'm not gonna go to that effort, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, but no, okay.
Okay, what has Alex done in the last 20 plus years to get a gravelly voice?
He had kids. Didn't you see him?
Right in the show. I mean, like he's behind the scenes. Right. He's like a director. Right. He's behind the camera. So,
all right. Yeah, I don't know. It looked interesting. The look of it, I don't know what I was expecting. It looks modern. It looks like a modern comedy. And Bill
it looks
and
like
Todd,
it fits right in. I mean, I'm sold. So.
Bill and Ted movies look like 90s comedies. So maybe that's what I was expecting.
Oh yeah.
It looks okay though. I like the. Are they going to do alternate like timelines then?
I think so. It seems like the premise is that they're going to go into the future, and I suppose the more they hop around in the future, the more it messes up the future.
They're going to do the darkest timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Community. You guys gotta watch Community. The Darkest Timelines. I can't believe none of y'all watch Community. You guys, something wrong with you.
Well, they reference it in Rick and Morty, so
Yeah.
I kind of get the Darkest Timeline thing, but
Man,
not the same.
They set up a joke 3 seasons long.
Yeah.
Man, how can you not love that? How can you not love that? Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, so make a stick figure storyboard for the trailer, then you won't get booted. Yeah, Matt's in for Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill and Ted's one of your favorite movies. I want to revisit them, and I always remembered enjoying. Like people have talked about how Bogus Journey is the bad one, but I'm like, I remember loving both.
Lies.
I
liked them both too. I do remember being really sad that they took Joan of Arc home because I'm like, she's gonna die.
Oh, right.
But other than that,
I mean, listen, they're not real responsible with how they handle time.
Well, Abraham Lincoln too. You hear me?
Right. They're not real responsible in those movies, but.
Did he disappear?
He did, but that's okay. He's allowed.
Yeah, he can disappear. And look, he's playing with Pikachu. Okay.
I knew he was doing something
right there. Yeah, no, I was getting this thing. Yes. I mean, Bogus Journey. If we didn't have Bogus Journey, we wouldn't get this. And this is one of the reasons I collect comic books.
Really?
I went to the 7-Eleven in Fremont, and I bought like almost all of these as they came out at the 7-Eleven.
From a 7-Eleven? That must have been expensive
Oh yeah, big time. But I think it was the superhero one that like hooked me, and then I went backwards and got all the other issues. Like it kind of started with Evan Dorkin's take on Bogus Journey. They basically had him do the comic book adaptation of Bogus Journey, but they basically left it up to him, like with what he wanted to do with the comic, and it just goes crazy trains off the rails because Bogus Journey is wackadoo. So they just took that and they just, ramped it up. So like at one point in the comic, Death decides that he doesn't want to be Death anymore. Like he wants a vacation. So somebody else like takes on his role called Morty of all things, rigor mortis and whatnot. And he has a chainsaw instead of a scythe. Like they just do a bunch of crazy, awesome stuff. And there's like a one point where Bill and Ted have gone through time so much that the archetype of time itself puts them on trial. So they have to like past and present or something are like the spiritual cosmic embodiment of these guys are like the prosecuting attorneys and whatnot. And it was like, it's just so bonkers.
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. It's by the Milk and Cheese guy, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. That's Evan Dorkin. Yep.
Oh, I do remember.
You didn't like Milk and Cheese.
I didn't care for Milk and Cheese. I'm sorry.
They have robot, like they have the good robot us's, they have the bad robot us's. Denomalos comes back. There's even a robot version of Denomalos in this. I mean, it's crazy. And the art's just bonkers. Gonzo even. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. Just wacky.
I like it.
Bogus Journey, yeah, when you think about it, that movie, the first one was time travel. The second one, they're like, well, death and robots and aliens. Station.
Like the concept of the original movie, when you break it down, it's fun and whatnot, but it's really simple. It's basically what if stoners / surfer dudes got a hold of a time machine? Mm-hmm. Like it's basically buddy cops through time, but not cops. It's just a buddy adventure through time. And so what would you do for a sequel? You couldn't do that again. So then we're playing with the afterlife and space and yeah.
You think after being through afterlife and space, it would have got some inspiration for some songs or something?
You'd think. And that's what this movie is about. They still haven't written the song.
Yeah.
So how do you think they're going to acknowledge Rufus?
His daughter is going to be involved.
Is that what it is? I was just looking it up.
I think they confirmed it that Kelly Kelly Carlin is gonna probably play Rufus's daughter in the future. She may even be one of the wise dudes.
Oh,
I believe it's her. I heard her on a podcast or something once.
She's on Kevin Smith's Pod Network, or she was.
Okay.
Picking Up from the American Dream, I think is the name of her podcast.
Right.
She does a really cool show. It's pretty interesting.
She has some crazy stories about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
how could you not?
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
Okay, I'm good with it.
Is that your sign off?
No, I'm saying let's do it.
What are we doing? Our sign off?
So what should we be amazed by then?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, okay. One thing is just like a hey. The first woman to walk in space also became the first woman to go into the Challenger Deep. So the lowest point in the ocean and first woman to walk in space. So first woman to do both.
What's her deal?
Who's
she trying to impress?
She's busy. I don't know.
Smashing the glass ceiling and the glass floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
So that's just a good thing. But the other thing is the thing
this is what we should
be amazed by.
Okay.
I'm amazed by it. Okay, so there's a quasi particle, and I can't pronounce the name of it, although it's actually really cool. It's like trico, like I don't know. It sounds like Keen Triton, but it's not. Or not exactly. No, it doesn't matter. They found this quasi particle, which is super tiny, and it replicates itself like a cell. It doubles and splits, or splits and what I mean. It doubles and splits, and it basically reproduces itself, and they're not supposed to be able to do that. So they're like, holy crap, this is amazing. What are we going to do with this thing? So that's mind-boggling. Be amazed.
What can they do with it?
They can build.
I need I need a frame of reference for what this is.
What a quasi particle is?
Sure. I mean, what can they? What's the deal?
Like the big the boson Higgs thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are quasi particles.
Okay.
They make everything have mass.
Yeah.
This one, they're not sure everything that it does, but they saw it do this and they were like, "Oh, holy crap. We're going to make it do all kinds of things now."
Do you think the particles are like, they're not watching, do it. Ah, crap, they seen us.
Maybe.
They've actually shown that to be true. Like what is it? Wave particles versus straight line particles, like it's affected by observation.
It is. Yeah. You have to trick it to actually get an accurate read on it, because it's like a photon will shoot straight,
photons,
and like wave will wiggle through it and go through many. Yeah, we have to trick that because our observation changes everything. So we have to not know what it is to get an accurate reading. That's the stuff that Einstein was always like, that's spooky physics. And I love that. That's my favorite part of it.
Right.
Spooky physics.
Yeah.
We got real nerdy here at the end.
Jesse, you got anything to mention? You got anything coming up? You got anything?
Nothing that's coming to mind, but
yeah, me either. I haven't got anything really going on other than this. Next week we might have a guest on the live show with us. But we'll wait till next week to be sure. And
sure.
Before I drop names, I'm scaling back my gameplays. Basically, I did my Tuesday, Friday night fight and ended up, as I predicted, getting extremely PO'd at the game because it was real hard. And then at the end, I was like, you know what?
I don't want to break my controller.
This is a waste of time. And then I was like, nah, it's not a waste of time. It's fun to do those streams. So I'm scaling back. So like yesterday, I didn't do one. So maybe 3-4 times a week. But twitch.tv/Grawlix podcast. I'm still going to play some games, just not every day because that's a little much.
Oh, sorry, that was probably loud, huh?
It's fine.
I'm hot.
Yep. Yeah, you're referencing Matt's comment. Okay, so otherwise, that's all I got. Have a good.
That was a lot of news. You guys missed us last week, so we went almost 2 hours this week.
We did. Don't bring a fist to a sword fight. Yeah, Matt.
Or if you do, bring a fist to hold the sword.
Matt actually tuned in to one of the game streams, and he happened to tune in to the point in which I got stuck playing against one character for over 30 minutes. Mind you, I was playing Slice, Dice, and Rice, so a round can last literally like 5 seconds because it can end in a single swipe. I played against this character over and over for over 30 minutes, could not beat him until eventually I just quit and then got real morose. And I was like, why is this when you tune in, Matt? This is not the stream. Normally I'm like, yay, Mad Max, shooting people and running people over. That doesn't sound better. Shooting people is not the main focus of Mad Max.
Nope.
That's why I play it.
Although every once in a while you're like, I just want a sniper bullet.
Oh, well, in Mad Max, well, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
That's not the central mechanic. I've got a thing. You might notice I never play games where the central mechanic is shooting.
Sorry, I like your head flap there.
I pre-ordered
Oh, yes.
Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster. So 1, that game better not suck because I actually pre-ordered it and I never do that. I paid full price. I not only paid full price, I paid extra for the special edition to give me some bonus crap that I don't need. So as soon as that's out in September, I'll be streaming that.
In September. We've got to survive that long.
30-minute man persists.
Oh, yeah. I'm going back to work August 10th.
Are you?
Yeah.
Get ready for the wave. It's already happening.
I know.
Next wave. It's already happening.
Yep.
COVID.
Let's ride the wave. No, I'm sorry. Let's not.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Money is more important than human life. Oh, and then that's when Clara would hop in and say hi.
Hi, Clara.
It's not Clara. I was being sarcastic, just so you know. She's young.
Yeah.
Money is not more important than human life. Human life is important.
Most. Okay.
All right.
Are we good? Let's just, yeah.
What's our sign off? That's not a good sign off.
You gotta blur that.
What are you just gonna like do more and more obscene stuff till I just hit end broadcast?
Ooh, you guys can't see what I'm doing.
Stop it. All right, take it easy, everybody. Have a good rest of your Thursday night. Have a good Friday and have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.